awaiting their trial, how will the courts ensure that they show up for their dates?
Well, courts have lots of options. The first thing to understand is that most people do come back to their court dates and do remain arrest-free pre-trial, like upwards of 80 or 90%. For when the court does have concerns about that, there's all sorts of options at the court's disposal. The easiest is they can give things like text message reminders just to make sure that people know when their court dates are. That's one of the most effective things to do. But there's also things like pretrial services, checking in with an officer to make sure that people are up to date on their court dates and are able to participate in their case.
But why get rid of bail completely and or maybe do something like other states like New York where they're eliminating bail for certain kinds of crimes?
Well, because bail doesn't work. Money bail has never worked. What money bail does is it says the decision about who's going to be in jail is going to be about how much money is in your pocketbook. It's completely illogical. What we need is what we have now in Illinois, which is a system that actually looks at safety. It actually looks at whether someone poses a danger to another person. And that's the real criteria for who should be in jail and who needs to be free. And that's why victims' rights organizations in Illinois were some of the loudest supporters of this law.
And will this law, to your understanding, be retroactive? In other words, people that are detained under the old policy, will they get the option to be out now?
Everyone detained under the new policy, or everyone detained currently, will have a new hearing in front of a judge, where a judge will make an individualized decision about whether that person will remain in jail or be released.
All right, Sarah Stout is an attorney with the Illinois Network for Pre-Trial Justice. Sarah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Marketplace Morning Report is coming up next, and then in 10 minutes at 9 o'clock, it's the BBC NewsHour on WNYC. Let's check in with London to see what they're working on. London, good morning.
Good morning, WNYC. I'm Tim Franks. On today's NewsHour, the bizarre case of the soldier who ran into North Korea and Pride and Prejudice ahead of the Women's World Cup. That's BBC NewsHour, coming up at 9 on WNYC.
.76 with clouds out there now, haze as well, showers likely today, possibly a thunderstorm and a high of 82. Again, 76 at 8:51.
WNYC is supported by Maine Coast Semester, a semester away from home for high school juniors seeking a challenging academic journey, hands-on learning, and a closer connection to nature. Now enrolling for fall and spring terms. More at maincoastsemester.org.
On the next All of It, the lure and danger of free diving, plunging into the ocean's depths without oxygen tanks, are documented in the new film, The Deepest Breath. We'll speak with its director, Laura McCann. Plus, goal! We'll preview the Women's World Cup. I'm Allison Stewart. Join me for All of It, weekdays at noon on WNYC.
When renting a place to live is like buying a ticket to a concert full of extra charges that pile up in the end.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by C3 AI. C3 Generative AI provides ChatGPT enterprise search that is verifiable, secure, and accurate across all enterprise data. C3.ai. This is enterprise AI. And by the Glassdoor app, where professionals share advice and talk about work and life anonymously. Conversations are happening within companies and in thousands of communities on the new Glassdoor app.
I'm David Brancaccio in New York. The White House is focused this morning on helping renters avoid surprises when arranging a new place to live. And after setbacks in court, the administration has news about how it will review corporate mergers and acquisitions to try to protect consumers. Marketplace's Nova Safo is here with more.
Yeah, David, a flurry of announcements. Let's start with rental fees. The administration says it's calling for price transparency, similar to recent actions taken with airline fares and tickets to live events, to reduce what the administration calls junk fees. The White House says 3 major online rental platforms are participating in this latest effort: Zillow, Apartments.com, and AffordableHousing.com. they will start providing the total cost of renting an apartment. That includes upfront costs such as application fees, as well as what may be hidden monthly fees for things like paying rent online. And the idea is that consumers can then more accurately comparison shop because they'll have the total price of a listing.
Right, and the administration also today proposing new guidelines for corporate mergers.
Yeah, and the timing is interesting because the FTC and the Justice Department just lost a big fight to prevent the tie-up of Microsoft and video game maker Activision Blizzard. And there has been some criticism from conservative and business circles that the administration has been too heavy-handed, perhaps, in how it's scrutinized mergers. Still, the FTC and Justice Department this morning released a draft update of the federal government's merger guidelines. This was expected, and the administration says the changes better reflect a modern economy. So, for example, the rules say a merger should not eliminate a potential entrant into a concentrated market. They also address how mergers may affect the labor market, saying they may be illegal if they reduce competition for workers.
All right, Nova Osafo, thank you very much. We're following the news this week that Russia has declined to renew a deal that had allowed Ukraine to export grain through the Black Sea. The World Trade Organization is urging other countries to keep their own food exports going so more people don't go hungry. Here's the WTO's Director General, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
What typically happens when you have a situation like this is that countries react by trying to withhold their own food, and they put export restrictions on them, and that just exacerbates the problem. That's what exactly happened in the 2008-2009 food crisis, and at the beginning of the food crisis here with the war in Ukraine. So what we can do is to tell our members precisely not to do that.
Wheat future prices are up 4.7% on Chicago markets this morning. Stocks Dow and S&P futures are little changed. NASDAQ futures are up 0.2% now, powered in part by the buzz over artificial intelligence. That NASDAQ index is up 38% year to date. Meta, the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp parent, has announced its new AI technology that it will open source, give away free. It'll compete directly with OpenAI's ChatGPT. Now, the Meta one is called Llama. Remember, that word has two L's. It's from the generic term for these things, large language models.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business. From small business to big enterprise and everything in between, Amazon Business helps simplify the supplies buying process. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying. And by Grammarly, offering Grammarly Business to help companies large and small communicate better and move faster with enterprise-grade generative artificial intelligence. Learn more at Grammarly.com/business. And by Indeed, a hiring solution that helps businesses attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. More at Indeed.com/hire.
New data show that people running companies that build housing are in a more upbeat mood. Pandemic distortions in supplies of things like lumber and AC parts have evened out, and there's very strong demand and a low supply of houses and apartments for sale, and some big builders have figured out a way to keep the sting out of higher mortgage rates. Ali Budner has that.
It can be difficult to buy an existing home in today's tight real estate market, but it's a different story in the market for newly constructed homes.
Yeah, the housing market is really a tale of two markets right now.
Danielle Hale is chief economist at Realtor.com.
Because of the lack of existing homes for sale, buyers who are looking for options are often finding them among new construction.
Hale says usually new homes make up about 10 to 15% of the housing market overall, but they're up to almost a third.
New home sales are close to the highest share of the market that they've been in probably more than a decade.
People get frustrated. There's nothing good out there. They see this beautiful new home. They go, okay, we're going in.
Logan Motoshami is the lead analyst for the news site Housing Wire. He says it's more than just lopsided inventory issues at play here. Home builders have the flexibility to subsidize mortgage rates for buyers.
They're saying, hey, listen, we can get you under 6% mortgage rates all day long. Why are you going to waste your time, fighting in a low inventory market with 7% rates?
And it seems to be working. Home builder confidence has been trending up every month of this year.
At least in the near term, builders, I think, are cautiously optimistic.
Robert Dietz is chief economist for the National Association of Home Builders. He says builders do have some problems,
including getting access to appliances and electrical transformers and the rising price of some kinds of building material costs, including concrete and wood products.
And Dietz says with low unemployment levels, there's also a shortage of skilled labor in the construction industry. But he's not too concerned. New home sales are up 20% compared to where they were a year ago. And the industry is starting to reach out to younger, lower income buyers by offering some new homes at $300,000 or less.
That is an excellent way to expand the new construction market to a younger set of households, renters who are aspiring to become first-time home buyers. The trick is finding a way to make it all budget out.
For now, home builders are making it work and feeling pretty good about it. I'm Ali Budner for Marketplace.
The national average 30-year fixed mortgage rate is at 6.88%, according to the Mortgage News Daily's calculation. I'm David Brancaccio with the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.